like a lot of cooks think they're chefs, or a lot of chefs think that they're better than everybody else, and they can be prima donnas.
That's very true.
Especially what I've experienced, like in a few times of being like, oh, I'm a Philly chef. I'm like, okay, you still made it down here for a reason. So like,
I've never heard that. If I'm a Philly chef.
oh God,
I was a Philly chef.
Yeah, and look at you now.
I'm down here. Everybody else.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk!
Restaurant Punk.
Welcome to Restaurant
God
Punk.
damn it.
Pete.
What's up, Pete?
What's going on?
What's up, Noelle?
Hey.
What's good in the hood?
How you kids doing this fine
How them balls hanging?
day?
Not this early, George. God,
You
not
haven't even
this
had a
early.
drink yet, have you?
No, I wish.
Hey, well, that makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
I'm just going to jump right into it.
Jump on me, Pete.
Have you ever had any employees, servers, bartenders, anything that are prima donnas? And how do you work with them as an owner or manager at the restaurant?
I feel like
Or even as a staff member,
I feel like you can't not have at least one.
There's always one.
There's always one. You
Yeah.
can't avoid it.
Yeah, but there's
that
always
one
the...
person just has to be really freaking good at their job.
That's what I was gonna
for
say.
me to
Yeah.
put up with them being a prima donna. Like I will. What is it called?
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
like, do you deal with it? Do you push them to excel even more? Are you just happy with what they do because you don't want to?
Well, I mean,
You don't want to work with them. Like I've dealt with prima donnas. They're excellent.
Yeah, Noelle.
but they're teachable too, and they want to work and grow. But
Thought Noelle, you did, you dirty dog, you.
Dude. But also, there's
Yeah.
ones that I'm like, I love them. They're great workers, but
You
just
don't-
hearing their voice makes me cringe.
Also
and I don't
depends
want
on
to
the
work
time
with
of
them.
the season.
Okay,
you know
wait.
when they
Hearing their voice, are you talking like Valley
guys.
Girl or like really ditzy? Or are you talking
I mean, in
about
all
like a
different
prima donna? Just
scenarios.
like you're sick of hearing their voice because they talk too much.
Yanni.
It could be either or. It could be anything.
like,
I just
here-
like basically what I'm saying is I just don't want to talk to them, and I don't want them to talk to me.
you
I just want them to do
You're
their.
so nice, though.
Hear
I
me
am,
out.
but-
I feel like you said it before, like, do you just deal with it or do you try to guide them in like the right direction? It's like, of course, I try to grow with my team at any given time. Like if I see an area where it needs to get worked on, but there's some people that I'll take a little extra shit or like, I know like, okay, maybe not everything's going to change and it's damn sure not going to change like overnight, but am I willing to work with it because she's or he
But
or whoever
long
is
does
worth
take, though?
it?
How long you work with it, though? A month? 2 months?
And if they don't change, do you keep them or do you let them go?
I feel like as long as it's not
Long
like
pause.
spreading or like affecting the
confused right now.
Yeah.
company culture, then like I'm all right. Like I don't know.
I think that's fair. Yeah, if it's not affecting the company culture and it's more of a personal thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if nobody's coming to me and complain, like now
Yeah.
if I have people coming to me and complaining
day.
and they're like, "Oh my God, she's such a prima donna," and blah blah blah. I don't want to hear that from a congregation of people while catching shit from that employee. I don't care how good you are. When it's dripping into all world, I'm out. You know, like
yeah, you have to cut it right away. Yeah.
exactly.
I deal with it to an extent, I guess, but I'm the same boat. When I start hearing other employees complain about that, then all right, we're done. Gotta go next.
I'm also talking front of house because like I don't know what back of house. I mean, for the most part,
back
yes.
of the house,
Back houses are
everybody.
people are bitches.
Yeah.
Like I know that
Prima
everybody.
donna bitches.
Man, good bacon meal. Hey, you want to eat? God damn it.
I just I don't know the exact trauma, but I do know that like a lot of cooks think they're chefs, or a lot of chefs think that they're better than everybody else, and they can be prima donnas.
That's
you know?
very true.
Especially what I've experienced, like in a few times of being like, "Oh, I'm a Philly chef." I'm like, "Okay, you still made it down here for a reason." So
Yeah.
like,
I've never heard that. If I'm a Philly chef.
oh God,
I was a
yes.
Philly chef.
Yeah, and look at you now.
I'm down here. Everybody else.
Are you down here? Thriving, surviving with Noelle.
I trust me. I'd rather live this life than
Oh,
do the
that's
Philly chef.
adorable.
But look, that's
cute.
what I want. Like, I don't want to be a whole year round. I know what the chef's hours are. I know what inner city chefs are, how much they work, what they do. And it's not for everybody. And it is for a lot of people, but it's just not for me. I can't do it. I did 8 years. I'm happy. Actually, well, I did 5 years as a chef there, 3 years as a line
also-
cook, but that was enough for
Were you
me.
a prima donna?
No,
Yeah,
not
and
at
that's
all.
the thing. I couldn't be further than a prima donna. And you come down here and you're like, you looked for this kind of job. I feel like people come down here and again, they're I'm a Philly chef. I did this, I did that. It's like, okay, or this is how we did it there. You have to know that A, it's not going to work in this demographic. B, like the lifestyle here is different. You're not going to be working around the clock. So you just throwing it in everybody's face like, oh, well, we worked around the clock and blah, blah. Like, okay, cool.
Well, everybody, either, for kitchen wise, I mean, there's all different types of chefs. And when I became the chef of a brand new restaurant opening, which Bobby and Nick, who were guests or are going to be guests on the show.
Bobby Baklava?
Yeah.
He's coming back?
He's coming back at some point.
Yeah, he is.
But I remember I had to talk to the whole staff one-on-one, one at a time. And so they sat me up in this one room. Nick and Bobby sat me up there. They brought on the servers one by one. I had to go over the menus with them and also talk to them a little. They wanted me to get to know them.
Any hot ones?
And there was a few. There was 40. There was like 40 people working in front of the house before we opened. But at one point, I started getting bored. And after the fact, after everything happened, I remember people were telling me that like we were very scared and to approach you because how Philly chefs are. But this one guy, I'll never forget, came in. He sat down.
Chris.
Big dude. And Jesse. And one of the questions, we were talking. And just randomly, I'm like, so what's your favorite color? And he's like, blue. I'm like, okay. And I went to the next page. And he looked so nerve-wracked. And then I couldn't help but laugh. And then he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Dude, I'm just bored right now. I'm like, this is so redundant.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that when they come in and talk, and these people have worked from restaurant to restaurant, from Steven Starr to hotel chains to whatever, and the type of chefs that they dealt with along their careers of working through the restaurant industry in Philly is intimidating. And the chefs that I worked for, all of them were prima donnas. And, well, they had the right to be because they were very locally and nationally now famous chefs. But
yeah. Well, what's harder, a prima donna that's been in the game longer or a prima donna that's newer?
Newer. Because
Obviously,
they're cocky.
yeah.
They're cocky for a different reason. At least the ones that have been around for a while have the reputation to back it up. It's the new guys. They're the worst.
I'm talking about servers.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, all prima donnas suck, but like, I don't know. I've worked at places to where even I've put up with some of the like seniority crap because like they're good servers and I don't know. Some of them might be prima donnas, but
they make you the most money, right?
I also think that like after, let's say, I worked at a restaurant in the first 2 summers. It was annoying because I was always like second choice on a weekend to one of their prima donna like people.
Senior servers.
Yeah.
You couldn't just say senior servers.
Senior servers.
God,
sounds
senior
weird.
citizens.
But like I would continue to work there for another 2-3 years because then they're going to see I'm just as diligent as a worker and I'm not a prima donna. You know what I mean? So like it'll come
You're
full
in it for the
circle
long
eventually.
run. You're like, I'm going to stay here for
I'm
10
taking
years
you down.
just to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I think
she was there for a year and a half.
Yeah. I think the biggest
is true.
prima donna I've ever had was a busser.
No, your brother.
He doesn't count. A busser. I think it was my first year. It was George's place, the new one, GP3 that we opened a couple years ago that I was running. And I had this one busser in the summer and he worked.
I know it is.
He worked like 3 bussers in one. Like he was amazing. And I was paying him, I think 18 an hour or something. And with a second busser on, he's like, pay me 25 an hour, get rid of the other busser, and I'll work for you. And I said, but you already do. And he was basically saying, I'll go find something else. But he was really good.
Did you pay him 25 an hour?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And you know what? He lived up to it. And he was a prima donna. I didn't have to really deal with it. He didn't talk. He bussed. He filled up water. Like,
What is your definition of prima donna?
I have no idea now.
Because like I feel
like
somebody talks a lot, that complains, that doesn't do side work.
No, I would say
I feel like I'm getting whiplash on what your
yeah, I bet you are getting
definition is.
whiplash.
George, 2 minutes. Just
It was. I waited 2 minutes.
they know they're hot shit. They act like they're hot shit.
But you're saying like you don't even want to talk to them and you don't even like interact and you did it with this person, right? You're like, oh, I really didn't have to interact with him much. I feel like when I think of a prima donna,
I think of you.
I also think of me. But like I think of someone who comes up like as an employee and it's just like, I'm not happy with the way that this is and I would rather like this and I would do that. Or like I want to pick my section because I've been here longer.
Katie
That's
has.
what I picture as prima donna. Whereas like your busser being like, yo, get rid of all these people.
Well,
on
look,
the
if you want me to
pay
give you this,
25.
do you want me to give you the
Yeah.
story from when I hired him to why I think he's a prima donna to that point?
Sure, that's why I
And
just
that
want to
was-
know your
He's
definition of
basically
prima donna.
like that. He's like, look, he comes up to me. He's like, I don't want to serve. I don't want to do anything in the restaurant. I
Is he
want
Russian?
He was
Can you talk in his
Eastern.
accent?
No,
Okay, just wondering.
you're just trying to get me.
Yep, I am.
trouble.
I am.
But he had like a specific set of rules when he got hired. He came in. He would show up late sometimes. He would always show up, but he would always show up late sometimes. He would take his lunch break whenever he wanted and all that. He was just very like,
Okay, so a prima donna.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
I do. But he did conform a little bit in that time of after I paid him $25 an hour.
So keep we beat someone $25.
Worth it. Well, look, I'm paying 2 bussers $17 an hour, or I pay 1 busser
Are you hiring?
$25.
Right?
But he had to leave end of September.
I bust the whole house
End of
today.
September. So I'm
I
like,
didn't
all
get
right,
25
through
an
my
hour.
busy season in. But that was
cleaned your
a
pipes.
good way. That was a good outcome, let's say.
That was a good prima donna, I guess.
I think we had this one guy. No, he wasn't.
So you
pre-guy. He was
stuck by
just-
him, is what you said. You kept him.
I kept
You
him
slowly
knowing
grew
that
with
he's going to
him.
leave. Knowing he was going to leave. Like,
Really?
he had an expiration date. I like that.
Wow, Jesus.
Is he alive?
He is not with us
You ever seen that movie
anymore.
Taken? You ever seen the movie Taken? I think that's what we're listening to right now.
But it's just hard to deal with them sometimes. And, you know, when you don't have I'm just going to say expiration date again, but if you don't know that they're going to leave at a certain point and they're going to stick with you, that's the beauty of Cape May. That's the beauty of short towns is you hire a lot of staff, but most of them are going to leave and you have your core crew that works through the off season. So I don't think we have to deal with it as much.
No,
as
no,
some
we have
other
prima donnas.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
You said Katie Hess?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's not here anymore.
See, expiration
She's
date.
awesome.
It only took 4.5 years, but
That girl
she's
expired.
gone.
Look at the right camera. That girl is expired.
I like Katie.
I think this conversation has expired as well.
I think so too.
I'm just gonna expire now.
Restaurant Punk!
Yeah, restaurant punk.
Wow, I lost you guys, but it was a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
next
for your
week.
2 cents. Adios, guys.
Out. Can you turn that camera so I don't look at it?
No, make him uncomfortable.
I'm going to look at it then.
That just means more FaceTime for me.
It's just that you're making eye contact with them when they're
I
editing.
know.
What you got? What do you want?